one diploma sort of concentration or different pathways? I mean, how many pathways do you envision it having? And then what year would the first kids graduate under that new diploma?
And under our proposal, 2018 is when the new kids would graduate into that. However, I think that part of the problem, part of the challenge of workforce pathways is that every community is so different. Every region is so different. When you go to Lake Charles, it's pretty evident where the job growth is, not as evident in London. And so part of the problem with the career diploma, by the way, having nothing to do with Representative Finn and Senator Pastelka's vision for it, I actually think their vision was very well intended. But in the way that it was implemented, also well intended, but just not effectively executed, is that the state said every high school has to provide at least one career major. And each major has to consist of 6 courses. And we're going to predetermine what those courses are. Well, when you say that every high school has to do, we've got high schools in our state that only have 200 kids in them. So essentially you created really difficult financial circumstances for schools that just said, I don't know how to do this. I think the way you want to build these pathways is region by region. And so our proposal will involve bringing parishes together to form regional consortia of their superintendents, their higher education, and their local business leadership to design the pathways locally, and that the state then validates or certifies those pathways.
Would you have essentially a career track or a college track, and then under the career track different paths depending on the career?
Well, we're certainly going to keep the idea of the Core 4 diploma, which is that basic core. Last legislative session, by the way, not deeply reported on, Senator Nevers authored Senate Bill 202, which fully aligns TOPS with the basic core, or with the Core 4. And I didn't talk about that here, but that is a really important idea, because kids who get TOPS tend to do very, very well, and from a persistence graduation perspective in college. Kids who don't get TOPS tend not to do very well. There's a lot behind that, but the idea that if you are on the college track, you should be pursuing TOPS, I think makes total sense. So then the question is for anyone else, what's not on, or not on that track, what would you do? And what I would say is that the state should try to predefine that pathway for every kid. You should define a basic academic expectation, but what the career course pathway looks like should be defined on a regional basis, and the state should then certify it. So a given region, like the Baton Rouge area, for example, might have many pathways involving many higher education institutions and involving many corporate environments. Apprenticeships should be a part of it. Internships should be a part of it. Higher education courses and high school courses should be a part of it. Whereas you might have regions that are more rural in nature, where you might have fewer pathways. It has to look different place to place. And when you do that, when you invite in the corporate sector and the community colleges, technical colleges, to design the pathways, you do what I suggested before, which is you leverage their assets and you combine what is currently a 3-part workforce development system into one. We need less redundancy. We need a greater capturing of the assets that each group has. And let me just talk just quickly about this. North Carolina, Georgia, Wisconsin, New Jersey, these are more heavily populated states than ours is, more densely populated states than ours is. They have big county systems, and they haven't carved up their states into as many pieces as we have. They have historically invested in and been able to afford large county career facilities. We don't have that. We have almost not a single parish that has just a single dedicated career center. Caddo has one, St. James has one. They're still relatively small. We have a technical college system. We have some high schools that have these facilities, and we have a corporate system. The only way we're going to get to the level of facilities that North Carolina and Georgia have, for example, is to try to combine the assets that we currently have. And the only way to do that is to ask the corporate sector and K-12 and the technical colleges to come together and design the pathways. And you really should. There's no reason why we can't be graduating kids when they're 18 with an associate's degree. There's just no reason other than that we've been unwilling to find a creative way to have it happen.